Ella es una guerrera.
She's a warrior. She has always been a warrior.
She does not stop moving. Like, you can't slow her down, and she breaks a lot of people's wills.
Just knowing that I can beat people up with my bare hands is pretty cool. It's a pretty big ego boost.
Tenía como 2 añitos. Tomó un gas de un encendedor.
She was about 2 years old. She took a breath of lighter fluid. She died. She was resurrected in Mexico. She was a warrior since she was a kid. She has fought for her life all the way to now.
De chiquita. Ella ha luchado por su vida hasta ahorita.
I pretended to give him a better life and work hard to give him them and help him, not passing what I passed through when I was a child. Could not even have a bed for sleep. We was really poor in Mexico. I was working hard in Mexico, but the money is big difference. So that makes me to come here and try to give him a better life to my daughters.
I think he's had to sacrifice a lot. He left a very big, beautiful home in Mexico, but because there isn't a lot of money in Mexico, he decided to come here and started with nothing as a teen. So him and my mom were here working odd jobs here and there, trying to make money until they could start their own American dream.
I do landscaping since I get here 25 years ago, and I do landscape my own for 20 years. They notice that I don't have workers, and they always telling me, hey, when you need help, just tell us and we can help you. I bring them to the job so they learn how hard it is if you don't stay in school.
It's a hard job. You're in 100-degree weather for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. So a lot of people don't want to do it. So I said, well, why not do it myself? So he lets me help him out the majority of the time so I could train here full time and not have to get a regular 9-to-5 job.
She was, you know, a little shy when she got here, a little timid. You know, she would train just a couple rounds, and now, you know, she's to the point she'll train with anybody. And, you know, she was a little nervous about competing too. Now she competes like once a month. She, you know, won her first world championship, but that was like such a big deal. Like, I was like holding back tears when I found out.
I started because I was in an abusive relationship and decided I don't want to be a part of that anymore, and I kind of wanted to defend myself a little bit. So I picked up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since it's one of the only martial arts that teaches you how to defend yourself off your back. We were together when I was 17 to 19 years old, so I was very young and naive, and he was older and kind of just manipulated me a lot to where I was letting him abuse me, like physically, emotionally, verbally, and then I finally grew out of it and decided I didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
I think like for, you know, any woman that's had an abusive relationship, jiu-jitsu is something that will be extremely empowering and will help them get through that.
It helps a lot because jiu-jitsu was made for the smaller person. Jiu-jitsu is not about strength, it's about technique. So I like the fact that a grown man that weighs 200 pounds can walk into the gym and I can take his back in like a minute. So it feels pretty good.
Just us having a hobby together is just so awesome. On the way there, we're talking about what we're gonna do in the gym and how we're gonna improve each other. And then on the way home, we're talking about how we did and what we need to improve tomorrow.
My husband and I were sitting in the living room watching TV, and we just hear a crazy noise, and we're like, whoa, what was that? We get up, and then our roof just flies off. And then as I'm on the phone with USAA, it starts raining. So all of our stuff gets ruined.
It was rough, man. Going from having your own house and then having it destroyed and then living in your mother-in-law's master bedroom.
We just bought the house less than a year ago. So let's keep it, let's fix it ourselves.
I would wake up at 5 in the morning, be at work by 6, work a 9 to 10 hour shift, and just come straight here and work until the sun went down. We both just like looked at the house and just started crying when we were done. We were just like, we did it. Like, we built this thing together. It was pretty cool.
I got to see her at such a low point, and I think that's what really made me admire her even more. Because even though there are people who go through tragedies and just leave it as it is, she worked harder and made a better home. And she got back on the mats, and I think that's something very special.
Through everything she's been through and like all the training with jiu-jitsu, like she never breaks, you know. Of course, like, you know, she has tough days training, but she's always back in here the next day with a smile on her face.
Back 2003, actually, with their mom have symptoms with losing weight, losing hair.
Porque yo estuve.
Because I went about a year without knowing what I had, and I went to different doctors, spent lots of money, and they could never tell me what I had. It was very painful. I couldn't walk, and they told me that I didn't have anything, that it was just arthritis.
In August 2006, she went to a clinic that was in Guadalupe, you know, and the doctor there diagnostic probably lupus.
It's an autoimmune disease, so your white blood cells attack your red blood cells. So like if you're sick and I'm close to you, my immune system doesn't have a defense mechanism to fight it off as strong, so I can get sick in the snap of a finger.
We actually spent 3 months, straight 3 months in the hospital. We almost lost their mom.
My emotions, I had already given up on the hope of living because the doctors say we're already doing everything that we can't do anything more. Your brain infection, the brain is attacking all your organs. So I say, I'd rather be dead than be like that.
I didn't know why it was happening to us, to my mom. I was angry at God, at my dad, at everybody, the hospital. I was upset, sad, probably depressed.
Yeah, merecía.
She will tell me, don't give up, Mom. I'm going to win first place. I promise you, I will win first place. Don't give up.
It's hard not having a mom for almost a year. So when I'm going through my highs of competing, I didn't have her there. So I think running up to her, showing her the medals and the trophies made me feel better. Not only her, but me. Just something to make me feel like my mom was still there, kind of proud of me.
She almost passed away. I was there, and she's gone for a moment. And somehow, she's back.
No podía creer, pero
I couldn't believe it. I could hear my family voices. They were telling me, you're okay, wake up, but I didn't want to. The reason being that I no longer thought I was part of this world.
sí creía que yo ya no estaba en este mundo.
100% my mom gave me my fighting spirit.
Sí, es luchar, por ejemplo, en este caso.
It is fighting, for example, in this case, for my life. She fights in her sport for me because I took her to classes every day and I will take her to train. It was like saying, why I'm not going to give up when I can surprise my mom? Because she always say, I'm going to win, mommy. In every fight, she won first place.
Porque ella siempre decía, yo voy a ganar, mami. Yo en las peleas siempre traía primer lugar.
Jiu-jitsu doesn't just teach you how to defend yourself, it teaches you respect, patience, And so it's helped me through a lot. Like teaching myself that I'm strong enough, it's okay, like to stand up for myself.